Donkey of the Day.
Donkeys of the Day, ask Charlemagne.
I'm a Democrat, so being Donkey of the Day is a little bit of a mixed blessing.
So like a donkey. Hee-haw. Okay.
Donkey of the Day.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Hey! Happy Monday. Donkey of the Day for Monday, July 24th is a double donkey, and it's a lesson in humanity. Our phones are smarter than us now, and the reason our phones are smarter than us because a lot of people have submitted their will to their phone, same way the phone isn't able to process certain human emotions. Human beings are so tied to their phones that they have forgotten how to have human emotions like empathy, sympathy, compassion. One thing I will never understand is when it's an emergency, instead of people calling for help, they pull out their phones to record said emergency. Makes no sense to me. And these two stories I'm about to tell you reinforce exactly what I'm telling you. Now, Uncle Charlotte tells you the same thing every other day. The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Okay? And last week, 5 teenagers in Florida filmed and clowned a disabled man named Jamal Dunn as he drowned in Florida. I can't make this kind of stuff up. Let's go to CNN for the report, please.
Get out the water, you gonna die.
A blatant disregard for human life.
We not finna help your ass. A
group of Florida teens taunt a drowning man while filming his final moments from afar.
Ain't nobody finna help you, you dumb. Shouldn't have got in there.
In the 2-minute-long video clip, the 5 teen boys between the ages of 14 and 16 can be heard laughing as the man struggles to stay afloat in a pond in Cocoa, Florida. Rather than call for help, the teens recorded the incident on cell phone, chuckling while they watched the man die. They say this when the man goes underwater and doesn't resurface.
He just died. Bro, what, bro?
The state of Florida currently does not have a law where a citizen is obligated to render aid for anyone in distress or call for help. Police say the victim, 31-year-old Jamel Dunn, got into an argument with his mom and possibly his fiancée the afternoon of July 9th. 10 minutes after the fight was over, police say Dunn scaled a fence surrounding a pond near his family's home and walked into the water. His family reported him missing 3 days later. The teen stayed quiet about what they saw, so police didn't know where to look. Dunn's body wasn't discovered until 5 days after his death.
Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Florida. Now, what's disturbing about this situation is, number one, like the guy said, these kids never called 911. And number two, his body wasn't discovered until 5 days later. The reason it wasn't discovered until 5 days later, because like the guy said, the kids remained quiet. But they didn't really remain quiet because they posted it on social media. That's when police were notified about the video when a family friend of Jamal Dunn saw the video on social media. What's the point of staying quiet if you're going to post it on social media? Now, we doubling up on donkeys this morning because the 18-year-old woman in California is in jail, accused of DUI after she crashed in her 14-year-old sister. Well, no, she's in jail, and she got accused of a DUI, but she also got accused of vehicular manslaughter after she crashed and her 14-year-old sister, who was riding with her, died. Now, this young lady was under the influence, and she was on IG Live when the crash occurred, just singing along, not paying attention to the road. And after the crash happened, do you think she called 911? Nope, she stayed on IG Live. I really can't make this stuff up. Let's go to KFSN TV ABC for the report, please.
An 18-year-old Stockton woman is in jail tonight, accused of causing a crash that killed her own sister. Family members say Abdulia Sanchez was on Instagram Live before, during, and after the crash. An 18-year-old woman driving while live on Instagram, the horrifying moments leading up to a crash. The CHP says 2 14-year-old girls were in the back seat, not wearing seatbelts. The CHP says Abdulia Sanchez was under the influence when she rolled her car over into a barbed wire fence and then a field. The Merced County Sheriff says 14-year-old Jacqueline Sanchez was killed in the crash. The video then shows Sanchez outside the car after the crash.
I killed my sister, okay? I know I'm going to jail for life, all right? I understand that. This is the last thing I wanted to happen, okay? I don't care, though. I'm going to hold it down.
Abdulia Sanchez is now in the Merced County Jail for charges of vehicular manslaughter while driving under the influence and DUI.
What the hell are you going to hold down?
This is disgusting, man.
What does she mean she going to hold it down? It saddens me that kids are this desensitized. It's one of the reasons I don't watch any of these videos. When I see the headlines, woman IG lives, dead sister, I don't want to see that. You know why? Because that goes against my morality. I don't want to see someone die because it's going to make me sad that the person is dying. And it's going to make me even sadder that we have a generation of kids who don't seem to know right from wrong, good from evil, or God from Satan. Okay? Kids who have a blatant disregard for human life. It's a writer from Canada named Charles DeLint, and he once wrote, I don't want to live in the kind of world where we don't look out for each other, not just the people that are close to us, but anybody who needs a helping hand. I can't change the way anybody else thinks or what they choose to do, but I can do my bit. You don't have to run in the water to get the dude unless you can swim, but the least you can do is call 911. That's what doing your bit is, okay? Obdulia Sanchez, the least you could do after you have been in the crash is call 911. Like, what do we care about more, human life or the interaction and attention we receive via social media? Well, those kids in Florida won't have any charges pressed against them yet, but they will know if charges are pressed against them in the next few weeks. And Obdulia Sanchez was charged with vehicular manslaughter while under the influence of some type of drug or alcohol, but she's going to hold it down. And I wonder, does she think her followers are going to hold it down for her? Do you think your followers are going to bail you out? Do you think those likes you're receiving can pay for a lawyer? Do you think a judge would be lenient on you based off the number of people who shared that video? Let me answer that for you. Hell no! Give those 5 teens in Florida and Obdulia Sanchez the biggest hee-haw, please. Oh,
I can't even, I don't understand. When I seen that video, I'm like, you see the guy drowning and you're laughing and joking? Like who's raising these kids? Like it can't. It's
the internet is raising them. You seen American Gods, okay? The internet is raising them. Internet boy is raising them. That's who's raising them, okay? That's what they worship.
It's just disgusting.